Good to see you. Christopher, you're the first one to say a word in my live chat group, and you're the first one to be here for my live. So guess what? I'm going to give you some free cards. A little free message for you, Christopher. What does your person want to tell you deep, deep down that they're not able to or haven't been? Looks like, Christopher, your person needs more time. Your person knows that they quit on you and they shouldn't have. They have heavy guilt. It's been weighing very heavy on them. They're very, very ashamed. The star's coming out for you with the Four of Wands and the Six of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the Wheel of Fortune. It looks like you're going to get an answered prayer and a healing over this connection. Something's going to change in about 4 to 6 weeks. Your person does want to fix this. Is Cancerian a strong sign in your guys' connection in some way? Check your Vedic. You're going to have victory. Your person is getting tired of the separation. Okay? There's some kind of destiny that's going to break in, kind of part the clouds, and make the situation better for you, Christopher. You're sad, she's a Leo. Is that tropical? If it's tropical Western astrology, then she would run in as a Cancerian and Vedic. But you also want to check your moon, your rising, and all of that other stuff. So anyways, the chariot's going to move you guys right through this energy. So expect a 180, which is a complete and total shift. Whatever you've been dealing with, it's going to be the complete opposite. Something is going to change very, very soon in 4 to 6 weeks. She's been, or this person has been thinking heavily about you, especially in dreams. And there's been hope that you guys are going to be able to make amends. Now, this person quit on you at some point and just is carrying all that guilt. Just know that in 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to get some change and most likely an answered prayer. That could be communication. That could be an open pathway of communication. It could be just a shift and a new energy between the both of you, some kind of spiritual union. It could be a healing just to get over something. Whatever you've been praying for, I expect that shift to happen. So you're going to get an answered prayer, a manifestation, if you will, on something that you've been working really hard to bring into this reality. But again, she needs a little, or this person needs a little more time. Suffering from really heavy guilt. I mean, that's tough to come over and just get over it. All right, everybody else, welcome. Hi, welcome to my reading. I hope you guys are doing lovely today. We're going to get into a bonus reading. And I felt I needed to come on for you. I was in the bath and I was just channeling and lighting candles, and I always listen to a lot of classes I take and things of that nature. But in the midst of it was this overwhelming sense of so many people that are heartbroken and hurting because of abandonment and someone that left them completely destroyed. And this could be your lover, this could be a parent, however you feel that it most affected you. Before I do this reading, I'd like you to go back to a time when you first felt that terrible shift in your relationships, that moment that it made you feel you weren't good enough, that something was wrong with you, that you couldn't do anything to fix it. So I just want you to think about that time. It could be 10 relationships ago. It could just be the last one that you had. I don't know. It could have been a situation in childhood, but just a moment where you felt completely out of control and left, because that is what has led you down this path of a constant abandonment wound lesson. And you are attracting it because of that trauma. I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose. Of course not. But because that's still there, you're calling more in, and it's going to keep coming. So we have to deal with this. We do have to face it. And one of the best ways for you to do that is to just meditate on that. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Get really in touch with your past self, kind of traveling down a timeline. Put yourself in that moment, during that time when it happened. Feel the heartbreak that you felt, the crushing letter that you wrote when they left you, a crushing text or email, or a terrible fight. And then they were gone. And I want you to go back to that timeline to where you can just go be with yourself like an adult now to a child, or whoever you are now to that past person, okay? And just, I want you to think of what you would tell that person now about what they just went through, and assure that person it's not their fault. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't deserve that. And it's not them. It's the other person. That other person is doing something with their own life, with their own issues, and it has nothing to do with your past self. And just reassure your past self. See what your past self says. Is it going to kick at you and scream at you? Is it going to cry? Is your past self going to need a hug? And spend as much time as you need in that reflection. But go back and help heal your person that dealt with that, because you got stuck in the trauma in that timeline. You had an emotional part of yourself stuck, and it's been that way kind of ever since, to be honest. And that's why if you're watching this and you're dealing with abandonment, this is an urgent message for you to deal with that wound and to pay attention to that inner, smaller, younger self and help it heal. So we're going to do some cards today and see what we need to know about your abandonment situation. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you guys. I'm still offering the 1111 Oracle. You guys have a little bit of time. If you want to get your questions in today for the 1111, you're welcome to do that through my Cash App or my website. Okay. Wow. We're going to start off with the ultimate betrayal, Ten of Swords. Death and the ending of a situation or relationship that completely felt like a stab in the back. Maybe more than one, and maybe the last straw that broke the camel's back, and complete and utter heartbreak. This was a very, very, very painful situation. Oh, WM, welcome. And I'm so glad you came in. It was for a reason. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope there's a good message in here for you. And hello, everybody. So look at this. This is you. What was this, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, last year, last month? You'll have to decide when this happened. But this was the ultimate betrayal, undeserved, unasked for. You were completely surprised, and your body clearly traumatized. Five of Swords. You guys had been fighting for a little while before this happened. So you know that this was leading up to this, and you're like, we were fighting almost every day. There was problems. We were back and forth. I just thought we were going to get over that. We were going to have some resolve, you know, that this wasn't going to be the end of it. It was just an argument, you know. This was just something that I never thought would have happened. And what I'm hearing is, I thought we had more time. I for sure thought we had more time, that we could have resolved this. You had to be very strong by yourself. That was the worst part. And you were conquering some inner demons, weren't you? You were really going through it. You felt like the world was completely against you. You thought the worst thoughts you could ever think. And you felt the worst you've ever felt. But good times came around again, didn't they? Births, birthdays, celebrations, friends, family. You know, it's like life goes on, right? And we all go on after that. You might have even had a child come in, or a new relationship, something happy, something joyful. But you always had this secret wall kind of built up. And you're like, what is this? Why am I not fully letting everything in? I mean, I thought I am, Ace of Cups. But there's always some part of me that's, I'm speaking for you, not me, but there's always some part of you that is holding back, protecting yourself, because you're already wounded. You're already hurt from the Ten of Swords. Layla, oh, I see you got your 1111, girl. Okay, we'll take care of you after this. So the Page of Swords is, you always felt a little bit, how do you say, we're going to go ahead and say suspicious. You know, a little bit worried, a little bit suspicious. What's going to happen? I've been tricked before. I've been led down the primrose path more than once. I have to be aware that you're not going to hurt me again, that the next person is not going to hurt me this time. You're welcome, Starseed. I love you guys. So 6 of Wands, you had another little victory. But it wasn't quite enough, was it? You tried to manifest new love, new life, new happiness. And then the High Priestess is there. Bottom of the deck is Queen of Cups. You know, the issue for you is you've been highly emotional about the whole thing. Nothing's wrong with that. But there is something about kind of a circle. Okay? What I'm feeling is you went through the Ten of Swords. You got happy. You found new love. It was never enough. There was always something bothering you. It was never the same. It just wasn't the same. It didn't quite hit the mark. It's like going to dinner somewhere and eating, and it just doesn't really hit the spot. And you're just like, you leave kind of feeling unsatisfied. And I feel like every relationship after this Ten of Swords, just not enough. What I like about these two cards, they're right in order, but this is the masculine and the feminine. The Magician is decisive, strong masculine energy. He knows what he wants. He makes the decision. But then there's always the questions: how, when, with who, That's when the high priestess comes in and she says, don't worry about how or when or who. Trust and have faith. And she's the highest card in all the tarot. She's very powerful. And she always reveals secrets. There's always some kind of revelation with her when she comes in a reading. It's like, what did you find? What secret was exposed? What did you learn? What did you gain? I'm hearing one thing you need to know is when you were ready for a new relationship, you got it. You literally manifested that next person. And you might have even been with that person for some kind of a substantial amount of time, according to the cards. But I think you should know. It wasn't an accident. You were the magician. So think about the following relationship, right? That was all you. Who have you been dealing the most with? You have a lot of Virgo karma. Cancerian, Virgo, Sag, I even think you have some Aquarius. And I feel like the biggest problem you've ever had is keeping and hanging on to the feeling of being happy and being in love. It didn't last long. Why does this keep not lasting long for you? And it's like nothing ever makes it past 7 years. 7 years is like the max. A lot of times it ends within a few months, but if you get into any kind of long term, something happens in 7 years and you're like, what is this? Is this bad luck? It's definitely 7 years. 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles. You keep repeating the same thing every 7 years. It's very hard for you to break this cycle. That's why I came in talking about how unfair it's been for you. Excuse me. Gosh, I'm so sorry. It's sinuses, everybody. I'm all right. I'm all right. It's really good. Markers, 7 is a prime number. Yeah, something's going on with the number 7. That could be very, very, very important number for you. I feel like no matter what you do, you can't break this cycle. Starseed, you just ended a 7-year cycle. That's awesome. And we have to be careful not to get into that 7-year cycle again. It's like, when we end it, do we start again? I think that's why we're here tonight. I know this sounds kind of crazy. And you may think I'm crazy after saying this, but if we're soul family, you'll get it. You're calling the same person into your life, the same soul, but it's like it's jumping bodies. Yeah, I know. It's this spirit that you've been attached to has jumped bodies, and you're repeating this karma over and over with this same spirit. So I'm not saying that they died and came back to life. I'm saying that the energy, the spiritual source, can jump timelines and bodies, and it's going to keep jumping because we're having an issue here. Getting rid of your initial abandonment wound, and it's been following you because your spirit has been stuck in that timeline of trauma. And that's why I'm saying for you to revisit that time. And yes, you can manifest and go revisit it. You can go back in time. You can time travel this. You can go back, you can shift it. You can even tweak what happened. You can mess with your own fate. It works. It's worked for a lot of people. So don't doubt that. I need you to go back and shift what happened. From you being broken and feeling like you were abandoned and not enough, to it wasn't you. It had nothing to do with you. It wasn't your fault. That was something that they were doing that they had to go through. It wasn't you. Whatever you kept doing, however old you were telling yourself, it's my fault. I didn't look good enough. I didn't act right. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. I wasn't what they needed to be. I was too fill in the blank. That story needs to change. Because that is the story that keeps replaying itself. Does that make sense, or am I scaring you with this timeline jumping? I know you guys are going to be like, what? That's a movie. That's, it's not possible. Honey, it's possible. Really, it is. I know it sounds insane, but you are a magician and you can do this. You can literally meditate, time jump, time travel, go back to that very moment, what you smelt, what you see, what you felt, the temperature outside, that moment, the sound of the door when you opened it. Your memory is a portal, and it is a tool, and it is a wand. And this magician is asking you to activate that wand. Activate it. Go back there. Talk to your former person that you used to be, whether it was an inner child, a grown adult, a young adult, whatever. And I want you to be there for yourself. I want you to see that you're going to allow that person from that timeline to respond to you. And what do you think that person might say? And get honest with yourself. Maybe they can't say anything. Maybe they're just a crying mess on the floor, just sobbing. I want you to put your arms around your sobbing person. Give them the love and support and whisper in their ear, it's not your fault. You didn't do this. and you don't deserve it. They did you dirty. They did you wrong. This was wrong. You did nothing wrong to deserve this. This is something that they did to sabotage this. They have their own journey, their own walk. They're only hurting themselves. You're lovable. Don't think you're not. Tell yourself that. Because no matter what you did in the past, you did your best. You may not have been perfect, ideal, or even good at your connection. But you did the best you could. And you kept trying. And you kept trying to be better. And you kept trying to improve yourself. And you kept trying really hard to keep it together. And if you felt you annoyed them or pushed them away in some way, go back even further to an inner child. And speak to that child. Example, the relationship where you feel abandoned, you tried everything you could to make it work, right? You begged, you cried, you pleaded. Maybe you wanted to go to counseling. Maybe you went to church. Maybe you cried hysterically and said, I'll do whatever you want. Just stay. Help me. I'll get help. Maybe the problem was you were jealous and insecure. Maybe you had some overprotective energy. That was your insecurity talking. Maybe your biggest issue was you weren't loving yourself. You were too busy loving them. They took it as smothering or some kind of obsession. So if you did do those things, you need to go back further. Of course, address that person in the abandonment of that relationship. But then when you realize you had some part to play in that, go back even further. And find the child that grew up in a divorced family, or maybe an abusive family. Or maybe in an orphanage. But you knew as that young child, I'm going to do everything I can to keep my family together. Or I'm going to do everything I can that when I'm in love and I'm married or I'm engaged or I'm living with someone or whatever, I'm going to make it work. I'm not going to be like my mom and dad. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to love hard, and I'm going to be truthful, and I'm going to be patient and loving, and I'm going to be all these things. Go back to that inner child that felt that need to, in the future, you're going to be everything that your parents were not. And I want you to go tell that child, your person right now, your adult self today, tonight, go visit that inner child and sit next to that inner child that's thinking these thoughts. And tell it, you know what? Life may not work out that way. It's good to have hopes and love in your heart like that. That's beautiful. And you're going to try your best. And your best is enough. But if it doesn't work out, it's not that you didn't try. It's not that you didn't have all this love and hope in your heart. So don't ever think that you're not enough. And forgive your parents, because they didn't know then what they know now. That was a first time for them too. It was a first time for you. So go back to your inner child and forgive your parents and forgive yourself and give yourself love and encouragement, but also let your little self know life doesn't always work out the way you hope. Sometimes things happen, a death, a breakup, a loss of some kind, it happens. Life is full of sadness and happiness, but you need to be prepared for both. Let your inner child know, let it grow, let it go back to that timeline and shift that inner child's timeline so that when it goes fast forward to that moment where you're getting abandoned and rejected or left behind in some way, that your inner child was prepared for that and it didn't lose its mind, that your younger self wouldn't lose its mind because of the rejection or the abandonment. Imagine how much better you would have taken the loss or the breakup had your inner child been healed and known that beforehand. You probably would have, if you knew then what you know now, you would have accepted that it was always them and it wasn't you. You would have accepted that you needed to have that break and you would have been okay. But the problem was, in that timeline, you weren't okay. You weren't ready. And it was traumatizing. So I'm asking you to, like the magician, the wizard, the manifester, to go back and readjust that timeline. Because that's going to help you deal with your trauma today, right now, in this reading. So please jump those timelines, fix that situation. You're going to see that it's going to dramatically affect how you feel even right now. It's going to shift something in your brain. It's going to shift something in you emotionally. And you could do this with money. You could do this with family. You could do this with love. Just go back to the moment where you had the issue, the initial issue, and then readjust it by talking to yourself then as you are now. You're going to be able to shift your reality. This is part of manifestation, and these are the secrets that the high priestess knows and she uses. So she's like Six of Cups, the past. We can travel back to the past. Page of Swords, you might have to learn how to do it. You might need to learn it and practice it, but you can literally go back in time. And you can, like the magician, shift your awareness and change your outcome. And it actually will affect you today. So this is going to require some effort and some work, but I think you're going to be able to do it. Queen of Wands, you are the magician or the high priestess. You are the wizard or the witch. You are the person that has the ability to manifest what needs to change. And this is going to bring you justice. But you have to go down the path and follow the white rabbit. High priestess, again. You're going to go down the white rabbit's hole. You're going to figure this out. Watch as this reading even shifts. Everything's going to shift. It's going to be so weird. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but let go of your grasp of reality right now. Just let go of what you think is real and do what I'm asking. Go back in time and change your reality. Manifest a whole different feeling and outcome today. You're going to get victory. Let's see what this person wants to tell you. The person that abandoned you and hurt you. What does this person want to say? This deck is absolutely free today. I'll send this to your house with a little package. If you like this deck, if you subscribe to my ultimate membership on my website, it's $122 a month. I'll give you this for free and ship it out. Just a little perk if you guys are thinking about it. Plus, you're going to get the free 1111 Oracle tonight if you want it. Wow. I want to fix this. The grass isn't green on the other side. All these years, after all this time, from your initial abandonment wounds, this person that broke you, because you've time shifted things, even right now, if they could go back, they would fix it. They wouldn't have left you. They wouldn't abandon you. They didn't realize that the grass was not going to be greener all these years in a whole nother situation. Believe it or not, that's what this person would tell you today. The karmic is finding out the truth, seeking out support in friends and family, and I quit. They're having problems, and this could have been 20 years ago. I mean, this is your past. I don't know when this was, this trauma, but they are going through towers. And they're looking back and thinking, what would it have been like if I would have stayed with my person? You know, how different life would have been, perhaps. Because whoever they're dealing with right now, they're finding out their little secrets, their issues, everything that you found out, someone else is finding out. That's hilarious, but it's also karma, it's also fate, it's destiny, it's just reality. You can only run for so long, you can only hide the truth for so long from someone, correct? It's only a matter of time. So this is coming out and saying, oh yeah, that karmic is totally finding out the truth. And it doesn't matter if it was 20 years ago. Just know wherever they're living, they could be living in Utah right now. They could be in Arizona. They could be in New York. They could be in Spain or Australia. They could have a whole wife and 2 kids, or husband and 3 kids, and a house and a hobby. They could have a whole life, right? And just know that even right now, they've realized, or at some point down the timeline, they've realized that you were never the problem. They blamed you as if you were the issue, and they had to leave you behind because you were the problem. But you weren't. They were the problem. But the same thing goes for you, thinking that they were the problem. You were the problem, but it wasn't your fault. Do you understand what I'm saying? Am I like acting too crazy here? You both were giving your best. And had you both seen that in one another, you could have worked it out. But they left you. And that was pure abandonment, rejection. They didn't want to deal with their imperfection in you. They abandoned you. Because they abandoned fixing themselves. They abandoned working through their own issues. So do you see how that's not your fault? Okay. And in the fact that you got left and abandoned in a very wrong way, they shouldn't have given up on you. They didn't try hard enough. But now you can reflect and see, I see where I led them to feel smothered, or I see where I led them to feel some type of way. It wasn't enough to push them away, but you can see, you weren't perfect either. But the point is this: no matter what you guys were going through at this point in time, this initial trauma, not the second trauma, not the third trauma, not the fourth or the fifth or so on, okay? We're not talking about all the traumas down the road. I'm talking about the initial abandonment wound. That one. It wasn't enough for them to give up on you. Whatever you did, it wasn't enough. You didn't do enough to make them leave you the way that they did. That was wrong. Do you understand? And that person is quitting making excuses about blaming you. They see the truth that you were not that bad. And believe me, they've cried so much over this. Maybe you guys were children back then, but they've been working on healing their inner child. They had some issues. Oh my God, channeling so much, so much. Hang on a minute. This is like too much. It's like clusters of images, experiences, days, weeks, months, years smashed into like 1 second in my head. So, just a lot. They had a wow childhood. Like, wow. I can't even emphasize wow as much as I want to. This person that abandoned you, oh wow, oh my God, like, whoo. On a scale of 1 to 100, honey, it was 1,000. This person that abandoned you had major, major, major real issues. And I feel really bad for them, but it started really young. Really young. This person that initially abandoned you had a lifetime of problems at a very young age. By the time you met them, they were already cup overflowing with personal issues. This is my download. I feel completely overwhelmed with this person. I see them as a very young child going through traumas, being abandoned by their own father or parent. Abandoned. I see even a parent that may have turned to drinking or extreme religion and neglected their emotional needs. But I see this parent being completely distant, emotionally distant, uninvolved, completely uninvolved. Like they were there to feed them, clothe them, give them a roof over their head, be a friend, have dinner, but they were not there going through what they were going through. They couldn't even process. Oh my gosh, your person got into some pretty heavy teenager problems at a very young teenager age. I'm looking at 13, 14 range, getting involved in possible drinking, drugs, maybe stealing cars, sneaking out, getting involved with older people, bad people, just a nightmare. I'm seeing this person might have even gone to juvie or gone to jail or something like that at a very young age. And where was this parent? Well, one of them was absent and the other one emotionally distant. Or maybe it was just one or the other, but this is what I'm channeling. This is what I feel. This person was already at a very tender age of a very young teen. Already done. A lifetime of problems. And I see that it doesn't stop there. Then they have to deal with trauma by themselves for the next few years. Possible rapes, possible abuse of some type. Homelessness even, just problems over the next few years as a young teen. And then barely making it to an adult. Barely coming out of it and being on their own, old enough to be on their own and getting involved with other bad people, another bad group, and being misled and misguided, and maybe going through some other kind of abandonment trauma. If it's a man, I feel like they had a child they never knew about or that they couldn't be a part of at a very young age, like 18. And they slept with someone they weren't in a relationship with, and it went bad. you know? And if it wasn't a child, it was they got heavily involved intimately with another person at a very young age, and it didn't work out. But there was some sense of abandonment for them before they ever met you at a very young age. And like I said, they already dealt with some kind of abandonment as a child. So they already had a double whammy. And here you come along. And mind you, you have your own issues. You have your senses of feeling abandoned as a baby. For whoever's watching me in a feminine energy, I feel like you were abandoned as a baby. Maybe it was unintentional, but it happened. It could have just been emotional abandonment as a young child, left home alone a lot, or left in the care of others a lot of the time. It could have just been emotional abandonment, but for some of you, it was physical. For some of you guys, you may have been kidnapped or given away, but there's something that happened as a baby, like before you could walk and remember and like talk about it, you know? And this is where it gets stored in your body to where you had a trauma you don't even know how to deal with because you don't even remember. You're just like, wow, I don't even remember when my body felt that abandonment. But the body remembers. So your consciousness may not remember, okay? But your body does. And when you were that tiny infant, tears rolling down your beautiful cheeks, knowing that no one was going to come when you were crying, or you didn't feel that comfort that you needed to feel, that security, that traumatized you. And I'm not saying it never got fixed. You know, some people go through a foster care and they get abandoned at first, then they get reunited with their family, and then life's a bowl of cherries. But your body still remembers. So I'm not saying your entire life was SHIT, but I'm saying there were issues as a young person that your life did completely fall apart. And again, these are body traumas that are following you here today in this reading. So definitely do some timeline travel. Heal your little baby body or heal your younger self, and maybe all of the above. Maybe they all need healing, but go ahead. You may call me crazy, but travel. Go and travel over there and deal with it. Because this person that initially hurt you, whoever this was, they had their own issues, honey, before you ever came in the picture. And then you want to mix that with you, who was also damaged subconsciously, maybe completely unaware because it was from when you were a baby or when you were a young child and you thought you grew up and you got out of it. But what I'm sensing with you is something when you were a baby, but I'm also sensing something as a young child with your cousins. Something bad happened between you and your cousins, or to you and your cousins. And then I feel like it was ongoing. And then I feel like something happened as a teen. Okay. So I feel like, excuse me, there was this on and off, if you will, trauma from being a baby to, I'm so sorry, this cough, it's late at night, I get this stupid cough. But yeah, a young child to when you were a young adult, getting into this connection, okay? I don't know, that's what I'm channeling. So back to where we were a few minutes ago, okay? Travel back to this person that got abandoned or left by this individual and tell yourself with as much love as you can, honey, this is not you. This man or this woman loves you, but they weren't even clear about themselves, and they were not for sure even taking care of themselves. They had issues before day one. You came in the picture with love, hopes. You put a lot of responsibility on them, pressure to be a family that they never had, okay? They never had what you were trying to build. You never had what you were trying to build. Both of you came together like, we're going to build this love that's going to last a lifetime. We're going to build this family that neither of you knew how. You guys were so innocent. I love you both. I love you both. You are innocent, broken, beautiful people. And I love you both. Such beautiful, broken souls. Beautifully broken. And let me tell you, how sad, right? But it broke you, and we're still going to have to deal with it, no matter how sad it is for them and no matter how sad it is for you. But I want you to know that once it was over and they left and they did what they did, today, right now in this reading, jumping through timelines, if they could go back in time, they would fix this. They wouldn't have run out on you the way they did. Your life could have been so different, couldn't it? It might be nice to think about that and just think, wow, how different life would have been had they not run away. You know? But at the same time, as you're daydreaming and thinking about that, I want you to think about all the children or animals or places you've lived and neighbors and friends and people that have come along your way because it didn't work out. And it's very sad. It's sad to heal your heart from the past, jump timelines, and make yourself feel better and have forgiveness, and then let it go. And then go back to where you are now. But the only reason we're jumping through timelines is not to change your outcome of the children in your life, the home in your life, the job in your life, but to change your emotional body. That's the only reason we're doing it. We're going to go back and heal that version of yourself that blamed yourself, that felt like a loser, that felt ugly, that felt unwanted, that felt all kinds of bad things, perhaps even suicidal. Or desperate. It's to go back and heal that person. So that way, who you are today is not triggered and affected the way it used to be because that version of yourself is healed. That's why we're jumping through timelines. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I've got. Okay? That's what I've got. Thank you, Love Z. I'm so glad. And you know what? That's why I came on, because I listened to Spirit. I really did. I was just there in my little salt bath, and I was tired. I will admit I was tired today, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come back on tonight, but I got rejuvenated. I had new energy, and I felt a sudden urge, hey, come out of the bath. Go live. Let's talk about timelines. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about healing. Let's talk about manifestation. Let's talk about that, you know? And so I felt called. And here we are getting these cards, telling the exact story, you know? How this must have felt, how it ruined you, excuse me, how it hurt your body, and how powerful you are. And this right here, the magic that you have to change this. Anyways, this is beautiful. They would change it if they could. And I just want you to know, whatever's going on in their life now, they could be living in Timbuktu. If they could go back into time, honey, and they miss you. And by the way, this person who traumatized you, they think about you, okay? They've had dreams about you even recently. They've been thinking about you a lot for the last 6 months. And it's, maybe you've sensed it. If you've had a dream randomly about this person that traumatized you in the past, it's because they've been thinking about you. Maybe they were looking back at pictures, you know, from those times. Maybe they were telling a story to their friend about your guys' relationship. Oh, well, welcome, my new person, Vera Marie. Welcome to JKS. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. And I'm so glad. Thank you so much for being here. So, yeah, they have been thinking about you and you feel it. So, this is probably why this came up in this reading. This is so cool. So, they've been missing you. And you know what's sad, though? I wanted to just for a moment talk about this. They loved you so much. Like, I just want to be real. I don't want you to walk away with these cards without me really emphasizing the Ace of Cups. This might have been your first true love. You were it for them. They were, oh my God. They were it for you and you were it for them. You guys were just lovebirds. This was a beautiful love connection. They meant it with every beat of their heart. I mean, their heart really beat, or what's the right word? Their heart really beat for you. You were the love of their little life at the time. And you meant the world to them. And they were so madly in love with you. They were crazy about you. They would have gone to the ends of the world for you. Okay? They probably did. All right? They would have dropped everything for you. This person was definitely 100% in love. And I think that's why it was so sad and such a betrayal when they left, because you felt that. You were like, Steph, I know they loved me because I felt it. I felt it with every fiber of my being. They loved me and I knew it and I felt it and I felt so alive and so seen and so held and so cloud nine, like nothing could touch you. And then how could they do this to me? How could they break me? How could they leave me? How? You know? I think I'll just give you some clarity on that tonight. Let's get the cards. I do want to give you some clarity because maybe that's going to help you heal. Excuse me. Gosh, this ridiculous cough needs to leave me alone. I'm so sorry. Just a little couple cards just to see, what really was it going on inside of them besides karma, besides fate, the actual details. Like what is it that made them betray you like that in the first place? Because God, they loved you. And man, wow, channeling again. You would have died for them. You would have died with no questions asked. You saw forever and always. You saw this life and the next life with them. You saw forever. Your soul was completely entwined into theirs. You were just, oops, you saw stars. Okay, you saw stars with this person. So you were absolutely enamored. There it is again. Wounded warrior. Okay, so now we're going to get, why did they leave you? What was it that made them leave you? Oh no, look at that. Oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. You want the truth? This is crazy. For number one, their mother meddled this connection. Their mother didn't like you. It may have been a secret. Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you thought their mother liked you, but they did not. Their mother did not like you. And it may have been race. It may have been that they already had, hopes for their child to be with somebody else. Maybe there was a previous person before you. I don't know, but this meddling mother, it's a meddling mother. That's what it was. That they were controlling. Oh, honey, were they controlling? And again, your person had trauma as a child that they were a part of. But for whatever reason, this meddling mother got into their head. and gave them ideas like, oh, you could be more, you could have more, you could grow, you could travel. What about this nice young lady? Or what about this nice young man? Or what about somebody that has more money or somebody that has more to offer? So there was a secret meddling mother. Now, this is the kind of mother that would come to your house for breakfast and you would cook them a really good breakfast and they would hug you and give you a kiss on the cheek, but it was a kiss from a snake. This is the kind of mother that would say, I'm so glad you guys came over. And, there was always something weird. There was a little weirdness between you and the mother, and you just felt it. You're like, your intuition at that time was like, something's off. This woman just doesn't completely accept me. And so there was something with that. But, someone said you guys were 100% positive, without a shadow of a doubt, that their mother loved you. So if that is not the case, it could be a mother-like figure in their life that convinced them otherwise. And a shocker, it could have even been a gay man, an older gay man that gave them advice of grandeur, of more. But there was somebody of influence, feminine energy, that led them, and they were close to this person. This wasn't just someone they met. This is someone that was pretty in their life and helped them out financially. They gave them money, or they gave them a job, or they gave them a place to live, or they were there frequently. It may have been a boss. Could have been. It could have been. For a lot of you guys, I do feel there's some kind of karma between you and your lovers, employers, or managers at work. Like there's some kind of karma where if your person works with someone, male or female, doesn't matter. But if they work with someone, there's some kind of connected karma between them and their employer and you. And maybe it's twisted. Maybe you and your employer have issues with you and your person. But the employers have poked their nose a little bit too far into their personal life. And that's an issue. And I think that's followed you. Okay. Now, back to the mother situation. And it could be an older sister. I'm going to leave that door open. If they have an older sister, it could definitely be the older sister that was feeding things in their head. But we're going to leave it broad for you all. Employer, older female, sister or mother, or a gay man. So you guys have an open door policy here. One of those scenarios should definitely work out in this reading. But a reason why this person now I need you to hear me out, because you guys get confused. You get your panties in a little twisty thong bunch between your butt cheeks. You got to hear me out. You guys jump ahead of me too much. Listen, maybe I talk too fast. I am not talking about your current relationship. I repeat, and I already said this 30 minutes ago, but you didn't catch me. I am not talking about your current broken relationship. That is not on the table. Unless you didn't have any other relationships of trauma before this person, then they would count. But I am talking about the original person in your life that broke your heart. The original. Okay? So we're talking first love. I just want to be clear, because sometimes we get bits and pieces and we're like, what? Oh, this is my current person from last year. This is what we're going through. I'm not talking about that. Okay? So I just want to tell you, because sometimes people just, whew. Okay, let's keep in line here on that reading. So this woman, or man with the feminine energy, caused delays and incited thoughts of more. They said somebody else is better for you. Somebody else is out there better for you. So they were influenced heavily, and they got unsatisfied with you. They started to doubt you. They started to think that you weren't good enough. They started to think that you were too obsessive, or you were too clingy, or they would say things like, I need guy time or girl time, or, you know, I don't know, but they just told you a lot of stuff that made you feel rejected, okay? Like something was wrong with you. And that was before they initially left. But they made you feel very defensive, but you were just taking it well. And the truth is, they were building walls between you and them. And again, this was not your fault. You have to go back and tell yourself back then, it's not your fault. They had a lot of trauma before you. And on top of that, they had to deal with this empress that was heavily in their life. So the reason they left you is they wanted to leave the country, or they wanted to leave the state, or they just wanted to leave wherever they thought you and them were grounded to. So they abandoned ship. You guys had big plans, Seven of Cups. This might have happened in the month of July for a lot of you. Yeah, with the sun. It could have been the month of July. July to September. So July, August, September. Yeah, it was right around that time frame perhaps. But your person had dreams of leaving. And so they already had it in their mind. And to be honest, they already spoke about an exit plan away from you with this empress. So somebody helped them plan leaving you. I know that's very hurtful. And like I said, it could be an aunt, it could be a mother, it could be a boss. But they definitely planned on leaving you. And it wasn't just one day. It happened. They planned it for at least 2 months. So at least 8 weeks, they were planning the getaway. And you probably noticed that they were starting to be a little bit more distant. And they were offered money to get out of the situation. Somebody told them that you were codependent on them. Somebody told them that you were there for money, or that they would always have to take care of you, or that they would never make enough money if they stayed with you. They would never become more. And so there was a financial mentioning that you were holding them back. You were holding them back from travel, and you were holding them back from money. Excuse me. That is the reason they left you. It was not your body. It was not your attractiveness. It was not your love that was the issue. It was they were brainwashed and convinced that you were only going to hold them back and hurt them in life. And it's, so I just want you to go back to that time where you got abandoned and rejected, and just hold yourself and go, honey, it's not your fault. They were manipulated, They were told these things by somebody else. They bought it. This is a deal with the devil. They were given gifts. They were offered money, or they were like, somebody said, hey, you can come live with us. We're going to be moving to, Vegas, or we're going to be going to California, or we're going to be moving to New York, or whatever, we're going to be moving. So you can come with us. We're going to have a great house. It's going to be big. It's epic. We're going to travel, party. We're going to go boating. It's going to be a blast. And this person was like, wow, that sounds amazing. Or maybe, somebody said, we're going to pay for your college. We're going to help educate you. Just leave this situation behind and I'll help you pay for college. I'll help you get a better job. Maybe we can move to Florida. Maybe we can move somewhere tropical. The point is doors were opened, offers were made, and they had a choice to stay back with you or go off into the distance, Eight of Cups. And ultimately, that's what your person did. They were traumatized as a young person, as you know, so they already suffered from abandonment wounds. And the only option they felt was okay was to abandon you and go in search of themselves, mostly because they were abandoned as a young person. They never dealt with their needs. And this was the way they could go out and find themselves, and go out and find themselves. He did, or she did. But don't think this person doesn't look back at that deal with the devil they made that summer. And they don't think, what if I would have stayed? Because remember, the grass isn't greener on the other side. Let's get one more message as we close from that energy. What does this person want to say? If we traveled in time, what would this person say? Vera Marie, I was traded for a four-wheeler on my 18th birthday. His mom offered him his choice on the lot to leave me. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry, Vera. That's... See that trauma? That's just... Can you imagine your younger self? And you've tried to forget about your younger self, Vera. You've tried to move on. But go back. Go timeline jumping. Go back to that person that got the news when you got crushed, that the person you loved and were madly in love with left you. Go back to that person and heal yourself and say, it's not your fault. There was trauma, there was issues, there are other things, and it is not you. Hurt people do what? They hurt other people. That's what they do. And he was definitely a hurt person. All right, so we have this person leaving you for more, for better. Let's see what they would say if they could time travel about this scenario. Because they loved you. Aww, they're healing. They're healing it just like you. Right now, they're healing their past life trauma. They're healing that inner child. They're healing that young person that was in a relationship with you. They're dealing with it. They do want to make things right energetically, karmically. They don't want to leave this unresolved. They're definitely doing some kind of astral healing with you. So if you guys have dreams with one another, you guys get to visit and talk and heal this. So there's a lot of that going on. Please be patient with me. They're hoping for a second chance also. And I see that in another life, whenever that will be, that they're going to be fixed and your connection's worth waiting for, and they love you. They were just in denial. Aww. They were in denial about you, and it will happen in divine time. So everything happens for a reason. You're doing your healing. They're doing theirs. But you know what? You and your first love and this trauma, I can't talk today. You're going to see each other again. Karma is going to bring you guys back together at some point. You're going to get to work this out. I hope it's just in dreams, but if it is in reality, if you do get a second chance with this person in another life, they're going to be better. They're going to be healed. So who knows? Who knows? But that's a little message from them. I do want to get a message, though, about what they thought the night, like they left you, like what was on their mind when they did it. Oh, they still loved you even though they weren't showing it. It was really hard for them not to talk to you. Communication, air energy. God, it was really, really, really hard for them not to talk. They knew that you were surrounded by your family and that you were focused on healing, and your mom and dad and your siblings or your friends, whoever, they were around you. And so they knew that you were going to be okay. This person always missed you emotionally, sexually, intimately. They could have been a fire sign, or you could have been, but they missed the passion. They missed the romance, the sexual energy, the chemistry. They missed it. Okay. Did they obviously move on after that? Because you guys weren't talking, but they did miss you, even though they weren't seeing you and talking. And I just want to see, like, while you were going through your trauma, while you were going through your suffering, what were they doing? I hear traveling. They got out of town. They went somewhere warm, wherever that may be. Ace of Swords. Queen of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune. The Eight of Swords. Seven of Swords. It was a little too late. They thought about coming back, but the damage was done. But they did think about it. They saw the truth about their little deal with the devil. They saw it, and it was brought to their attention that they were cruel and they were cold-hearted, and what they did was cold. And they were a double-edged sword. They hurt themselves. That's what this is. They hurt themselves. So when they hurt you, they cut themselves. They cut their nose to smite their face. They thought they were making a good deal, but it didn't turn out that way. They were hoping for, happiness and joy, Nine of Cups, right? But when things changed, when they moved away, when they traveled, when they left you and your whole situation and cut this off, they were trapped in their mind for quite some time, frustrated and feeling caged in their own mind, a wreck in their own head about what they'd done, but it was too late. And they knew that if they go back, it was only going to be problems. It was only going to be fights. It was going to be accusations. It was going to be mistrust. Your family would have hated them. Their family would have hated you. Their friends would have ridiculed them. It's like everybody was against them to come back to you. There was even a few nights this person cried and thought, I'm going to go back. And maybe they did. Maybe they showed up once or twice after that. But everyone was like, no, don't go back. Don't go back to, that classic advice that friends give. Never return back to your ex. Never go back. They're an ex for a reason, but those people don't know the whole story. They don't know. Half the time we're getting advice from people that don't know us and don't know what we've been through and don't know our person. Yet we're sitting here getting advice from them and they don't know Jack, S-H-I-T. Why in the world we sit here and listen to these people? Probably out of desperation, but it's ridiculous. And as we're grown-ups, we learn not to listen to other people, but to listen to ourselves. We're the ones that live our lives. Ultimately, they're just not even watching completely. They're just there in and out. So it's pointless. I feel like they did start a new relationship with an air sign. And this person had money. It took about a year. So a year after your separation, that they did move on. They got with someone that had more, okay? That was probably a tower moment for you, that they went ahead and committed Knight of Pentacles to another person. And that was a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But you're shocked. They moved on. But they always loved you. Queen of Cups. You were always in the peripheral. They battled themselves back and forth, 5-5, about going back to you. They missed you. They missed your family. But what they had with this other person was money. They had money, guys. And do they sleep well? No. Nine of Swords. They don't sleep well. But I really think to be honest, and this is the secrets that are coming out, I really think the initial reason that they left you was a financial situation. They were told by friends and family, or most likely a mother, that was like, you're draining them, or you're never going to become something as long as you're with this person. They're holding you back in life. So I think that was the ultimate advice, to be honest. And these are the secrets you never knew, but you'll always be connected through time. You know, timelines will always connect you. But I just want you to know that they did move on. Maybe they're still with that person, Ten of Pentacles. Perhaps they stayed married all these years. I don't know. But they did get involved with that person. And that would have been a shock to you. But they did move on. And they always think of you. They've always thought of you. You're always the one that they really loved, that they were totally in love with. They still think of you time to time. And let me tell you, when they drink, because everyone drinks every now and then, when they drink, they do daydream about what would have been, what could have been. And they do dream and daydream about your love, because you were very affectionate. They were madly in love with you. You were madly in love with them. So believe me, that doesn't just go away. And it doesn't matter what they've created out of all these years. They have thought of you. So maybe that will give you some solace. What does Spirit want to tell you about your abandonment trauma? Holy Spirit, please guide and direct me with these oracle cards. Give advice here to the audience and help them to make sense of their heart as they travel through timelines to heal themselves and feel better today about whatever pain they've been enduring. What advice can you give them? Or what do you just want to say to give them comfort, even if it's not advice, but just what can we talk about here? One more shuffle. Oh, it's a never-ending story. There's more to come in your life. Just wait and see. That was just a little piece to your story. You're about to expand. You're making some very valuable connections. You're going to be very satisfied. This is Nine of Cups, indulging in your desires. Spirit says, you know what? You've grown because of what happened back then. And that's great. And there's so much good in your life. And I know it's sad and you're going to heal your traumas, but it was beautiful nonetheless. Then we have building a wall. And building a wall doesn't keep them out. It keeps you in. So remember not to build a wall as the wounded warrior likes to build a wall. Don't build a wall, my wounded warriors, about fear that you're not good enough. And everyone's out there looking for better. And I think that's what you felt at that time. I think you felt your person was out there looking for more. And you've carried that trauma throughout your other relationships. It's just been with you. And you're just like, I try not to let it bother me. I don't like to think about it. I don't address those issues. That was so long ago. But remember, your body remembers even when you don't. So, we're just touching on your trauma. So the Spirit says, hey, let's take down the wall. Whatever happened back then, we're going to move on. We're going to expand. We're going to be happy. We're going to satisfy ourselves. There's more to come in life. It's not over. I know first loves are special, but there's more to come. And, Spirit says, address your deep emotions. Spirit's aware that you had the deepest of deep emotions with this person. And it's hard because they felt like family. These were profound feelings and memories. It hurt you for a very, very long time. You do the work, and Spirit's going to reward you. Awaiting a job well done. I'm sorry, it says admiring a job well done. So when you do the work, you go through your deep feelings. Spirit's going to reward you. Spirit also knows that you've had a very painful past. Tearful memories, and that inner child needs attention ASAP. So Spirit's like, don't neglect that inner child. That's a big, big thing. Do not leave it alone. It's so taboo. Everyone's like, oh, work on the inner child, the inner child. It's really a bigger deal than we like to think. Our inner child, if you want to change the name from inner child, change it with the word firm foundation or core beliefs. See? Now you know how important it is. So the inner child is the same thing as firm foundations and firm core beliefs. That inner child is nothing to be played with. It must be dealt with. That exists in your root chakra. So do some work in the root, and that's what connects you to who you are as a soul. So you definitely want to go do that lower vibe work, the inner child, the core beliefs, and all of that. You need to go deal with it because, you know, it's followed you. And I didn't even touch on your relationship today. Like, this is trauma, this is abandonment, this stemmed from many, many lifetimes ago, maybe figuratively, but you know what I'm saying. It was a long time ago. And it's like, here it is still showing its ugly face. And Spirit's like, honey, it's a never-ending circle and it's a never-ending story. I want you to deal with that inner child. Vera Marie, at my core or soul level is what I usually say. Yeah. A lot of us don't like to think about that, but Vera Marie, I did feel that way. I mean, an intimate object was worth more than me. I didn't feel like that now. But it's only been the last couple of years I loved myself. See, it took you so long. And now that you love yourself, you still have to go back as the healed version of who you are today and go heal that young person that felt less than an intimate object. You're going to have to go have a talk with her, timeline jump, and do some of that healing for her. And like I said, even go back further from her and go back to the child that also dealt with issues, that wanted so much to hang on to what you were hanging on to. Because if you knew then what you knew now, when you're dealing with someone that says, hey, you know what, this isn't working out, and you get wind that they're wanting to move away or travel or go buy some boat or four-wheel or whatever, if you got wind of that today, you would probably say to that person, oh, you want that? That's more important to you? Okay. Have fun with that. Go ahead. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Today, you would have been so much stronger than feeling broken and less than like you did back then. And that's why you have to go back. That's why you have to time travel. Go back. Because you are the right person today to talk sense to that person then who felt completely destroyed. We have to fix that person. So anyway, Spirit says, yeah, deal with your painful past, okay? You're going to get rewards for a job well done. You're going to have to touch on those profound, deep feelings and memories that sometimes may be very difficult to go look back on, but do the work, because we're going to start taking down the wall, because it keeps people out. I'm sorry, it keeps people, I can't talk today clearly. Excuse me, rewind, start over. Building a wall doesn't keep them out, it keeps you in, okay? And expect some Nine of Cups stuff to start happening. Spirit's like, I want to give you a Nine of Cups. I don't want you to sit here and cry and suffer. Let's see what good is going to happen to your life, because God, that was a sad reading, right? That was a deep reading. It was an informative reading, but it was difficult to give, and I'm sure it was difficult to hear. So let's see what is coming up for you with feeling satisfied. You know, a Wheel of Fortune, a Nine of Cups, you know, the light at the end of the rainbow. Gosh, what is coming up in your happy existence? What is going to be coming up for you? Oh my gosh. Okay. The Lover's card. Angels of commitment. That's beautiful. I think a relationship lays on the horizon. You're not meant to be alone. Oh no. A Knight of Swords. So it's an air sign. Ooh, it could be a Gemini. Ah, they're going to give you a love offer. What? Okay. I don't even see your comments. They took away the comments. Oh, well, shoot. See if I can get it back. And no. So for whatever reason, they took away the comments. I'll just come. Oh, no, here we go. We're back. Comments are back. Thank God. Yes, the reading is extremely accurate for you. Oh, that is so good. Thank you so much, ES. Thank you. Vera, I hope you're still here. Hey, Markers, I'm so sorry. My phone died, guys. It reloaded just now, so that's good. So, yay. All right. What was I even saying? Oh, yeah, this new relationship. So, Gemini, Aries, or even Libra. We're going to go with that, okay? New love is on the horizon. I wish I could tell you you're going to be a millionaire. That would be great news. Or that, you know, perhaps you're going to have a baby or a new business or you're going to move somewhere. I would love to tell you all those things. But what comes out in the cards for you is a new relationship, eh? You got to take it where you can get it. Take the blessings where you can get them. It may not be in the arena you want, but there it is. You still got one. You got a blessing, you know? And with a partner comes help. With a partner comes love. And with a partner comes some happiness. And an end to loneliness. So you're about to have victory in a happy relationship, my friends. Bottom of the deck is Eight of Pentacles. Dedicate yourself to this because, honey, they're going to dedicate themselves to you. They're going to work on this. Oh, it's going to be a long-lasting relationship. This is your Nine of Cups. Literally. These are the blessings. M. I see an M. Do you guys see an M? I see an M. This person may have a letter M in their name or their last name is an M. First name could be an M. I don't know. But it could also stand for marriage. I'm going to leave it there, honey. I don't want to mess with it too much. Okay, we don't want to dabble. But I will just get one last little thing from your higher self. What is going to come in your psyche before this little relationship arrives? Vera, I will be a millionaire because we're going to make our first million together right now. Oh, I'm isolated and don't remember what human touch feels like anymore. Girl, I hear ya. But look, our relationship, literally a blessing. I mean, wow. So what does your psyche want to tell you before this? And before you start saying, oh, relationships aren't for me, I don't imagine a relationship for me. Honey, have you walked around lately? Who's been to Disney? Who's been to the buffet? Who's been to the gas station? Have you taken a look around at society? Have you seen people in relationships that you couldn't believe would be in a relationship? And the only thing I can tell you is this, honey. If they can do it, if they can get themselves a partner, the way they're looking, the way they're living, okay? Don't tell me that my beautiful soul family here on JKS cannot manifest a love partner. Do not tell me that it is not possible for you. That is ridiculousness. Because obviously you haven't taken a look around at these couples out here. It's crazy. Marcus, Walmart's a trip for me. Yeah, you know, I just want to say there was one couple. This woman was severely obese. And I mean, like, the 500-pound woman, like on TV, I forgot the name of the series. But I think she had to come in with oxygen, and she couldn't even barely sit on a chair at the restaurant. I felt really bad for her. She was huge. It was like an elephant came into the little restaurant. But you know what? That woman was happy. And she was on a date with a man, and who knows, he could have been twisted. He could have been in that weird kink where they feed people till they die. I mean, who really knows what he was into? I don't know. But nonetheless, he looked like a nice guy. I'll be honest, he did. He looked like a nice guy. And she looked, happy. Who knows? But they were there on a date, and he seemed like he was smiling and very happy with her. And he was giving her lots of attention. He wasn't looking around at other people. He pulled out the chair for her. He was a gentleman. He sat down, and he had friendly conversation, and he had all eyes on her when everyone in the restaurant was looking at her. He could have been distracted with all the eyes looking at them, but no, he's like, he knew what he signed up for, And he was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give her my focus, my contact. I'm going to make her feel like a woman. She's a human person at the end of the day, and she deserves to go on a date, And I thought to myself, look at all my clients, look at me, look at other people that are beautiful or attractive and young, and they don't have health problems like that. They're doing fine for themselves. They're decent people, and they're out living alone. They're out living alone. They're not going on dates. They're not getting out. They're just miserable, and they think that they're ugly or they're unworthy or they can't find anybody, or they just keep getting rejected by their person. And, they could be out living life. And why in the world do people like that think they're not capable of having a relationship? If that brave woman can find someone and go on a date and have a relationship, and it didn't look like it was their first date, it looked like they were in a relationship. If she can be in a relationship, anybody can. I've seen other people that, let's just say like a water park or different places that are there with their honey. And you look at them and you're like, their partner is so attractive and they're not. And it makes you wonder. But they find love because they're not blocking it. They're not building up a wall. They're open. They're open to receiving love. They're literally open, and they're getting it. They're getting relationships. And that is a message to the good-looking people and even the not-so-good-looking people, but the people on my channel, that if you're sitting here thinking, I'm not worthy of a relationship, look around, guys. Go to Walmart, go to the gas station, go to these places. Look around at people that are in relationships. And look at yourself, because you are totally worthy. You are totally worthy of love and kisses and hugs and cuddles and dates and date night and romance and holding hands and sharing your story. You are totally lovable. Do you hear me? You better hear me. You are extremely lovable. You're even cuddly. You're desirable. And you better be telling yourself that. Okay? Get in the energy of receiving love, because in the cards, you're so meant for this. You're so meant for this relationship that's coming in. It's a blessing. It really is. And you deserve it. You deserve it. You've been through so much trauma. You've been through so much heartache and healing. You deserve this new love. Knight of Swords, Page of Cups. Like, it's coming. You deserve it. And I hope you're ready. I really do. I really hope you are, because you deserve it. Job well done. Okay? So call it in like you deserve it. So anyways, like I was going to say before we got disconnected, what is the message from your higher self through all of this? As this Ace of Swords slams in, like, hey, we're going to give this person love. Your higher self says, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? I like that. And you can answer that on your own. You don't need me, but you need some boundaries. Whatever they are, you'll know in your heart. And you need to stick to them. Okay? Honor them. You should love yourself. Respect yourself. You better. And in the back it says, to create a more healthy boundary, you must first get in tune with your own needs, desires, and feelings, and believe that you are worthy of them. And in your relationship, soon to come, it's essential for you to know where they end and where you begin. All right, so when we separate our energy from others, we gain some clarity about what we really want. And it's good that we have distance for this reason. And then we stop doing things that we no longer feel are aligned with us. And if you're an empath, you can still be compassionate towards someone without taking on their drama, taking on their baggage, their stuff, It's safe for you to trust that you are not here to fix your next partner. I'm serious. And you're not here to fix people. A lot of us get programmed that we're the fixer, but we're not fixing ourselves. We're not dealing with our own happiness. You don't need to fix them. That's going to be your mantra. And it says, your new mantra for yourself is, I have everything I need within me right now, and so do they. Yay! I'm worthy of my needs to be met. Yep. And I set boundaries based on what's best for me. So you're not going to go into this relationship without boundaries, right? That's what your higher self wants you to repeat. I am not going to go in this connection trying to fix him or her. And I am not going to go in this connection without a healthy boundary. I have rules to my own body, to my mind, to my space, and I'm going to honor them. And I'm going to mean them. And I'm going to stick to that. So your higher self wants to remind you about your boundaries. Don't just lose it when you fall for another individual or when they come in with their little page cups. Okay? Anyways, that's that. So who has questions? Someone paid for the 1111 tonight, and I'll give you guys 15 minutes to do your little 1111s since we're all here and my video got cut off and whatever. Let me go check and just, double check who did pay. I'll be right back. And if you're a new member on my website, you get it free, plus the deck of cards if you're becoming a new Ultimate member. Okay? So keep that in mind. If you want these, it's these cards. I will send them to your house for free with an extra little goodie if you want this. Okay? And these I made them, and they're going to just come free if you're a new Ultimate member. Okay? Plus you get your 1111 and all the other readings this month included. So consider that. It's a big money saver. But if you are just a regular member for $33.33 a month, you do get your free 1111 Oracle. So if you're here watching me, come on in with your question. Or if you want to be just a regular member, you get your free 1111 question tonight. It's $33.33 over there. And if you are a new member as of this video, I'll give you a bonus, a little bonus mini Oracle or mini Tarot. If you're a new member, just a regular member, just a $33.33 member. If you are a new one of those, I'll throw in a little bonus one for you as well. But that will be included monthly, okay? All right. Oh, yeah, I was going to go check real quick. My bad. Pay attention, Steph. Leila. Leila. I hope I'm saying your name right. You wanted to know what your twin is going through right now. So I'm going to do an oracle for you. And I choose to use my animal tarot, but I like to use these as oracles. So it's tarot and oracle, but I like to think of them as an oracle because there's just so much oracle information in the tarot deck. It's pretty cool. I love this deck, guys. You can get this deck on Amazon or at Barnes & Nobles. I think they still have it there. Or probably your local metaphysical shop. Who here watching me has a teenager or a young 19, 20-year-old kid? If you do, let me know, because I just considered opening up an additional YouTube. My son just talked about me today. Well, talked about this with me today. And my daughter had a little conversation that her friend was going through a difficult relationship. And she's like 17. And she calls herself, I hate to say it, but, you know, an HOE. And I feel like so many young girls and young men need advice, and their parents really aren't giving it. Maybe they don't, they're just their friend circles, or who knows, videos and things of that nature. But I would love to start a teenage or young person tarot, because they have a very different life than us mature people. We've been through a lot. And my tarot channel, JKS, really focuses on soulmates and twin flames. And a lot of young people haven't really gotten into that yet. They will, but they haven't got into it yet. And I want to do tarot for them so they can get, you know, readings for their school, for their friendship circles, you know, for their little relationships, to see what those people's real intentions are, and to see what path they're on and where they're headed. And anyways, if you have some young people that would like to follow tarot or, you know, astrology, I am going to open up a young person channel. And I'm even going to play some video games on that channel. Okay? So I just bought a new video game to play on this new channel. And a lot of young people play games. They're always into video games. So have you guys heard of the cartoon Avatar? Anyways, it's a cartoon. It was around when we were young, Avatar. And he's, you know, he works through the elements, earth, air, wind, fire, etc., you know. Anyways, there's a video game, and I've never played it. I am no good at I'm really probably no good at video games. I can't play Fortnite to save my life, to be honest. I barely made it through my son's game, Luigi's Mansion. But that was fun. I like that game. But my boy was like, Mom, you should play a game and post it. And I thought, well, I want to do a spiritual game. If I do a game on my teen channel, I want to do something that teens would like to try. So I found the Avatar game, which is linked to the elements and the chakras and spirituality. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely doing that game. And then I thought of the Spirit North, which is a spiritual game as well. And then there's Ori and Little Nightmares, which is scary. It's like a horror. But I like to think of it as the shadow self. So anyway, I'm going to have some good games and tarot, and I'm going to be doing it on a teen, young person channel. So if you guys have anyone, just let me know so I can kind of get some kind of a following and ask them what kind of information would they like on a channel, and see if they would be interested in watching me talk while I'm playing games, because I'll be doing possible readings or, you know, getting channeling while I'm doing gameplay. I'll talk about spiritual stuff while I'm doing games, you know, which is kind of fun. Maybe you guys might even like to watch me over there. I don't know if you're into games or whatnot, but it would be kind of fun. So just a little, you know, something different. Okay, back to my focus. Sorry, Layla. Starseed, I'm so sorry. Let's get back to your reading. What is your twin flame going through right now? Let's see. Right, so bottom of the deck, girl, we have the Fool. This is the very beginning. It just began. Your person's going through a rebirth. Your person's also naive. I'm just going to say it, very naive, new to something, taking a leap of faith, leaving behind baggage, leaving behind drama, and just really wanting to go forward. 5 of Cups. Your person just recently got out of a toxic relationship. And it could have been with family, could have been friends, could have been a lover. I'm going to leave it up to you with the knowledge base on what you think your twin was involved in. But he's just freshly getting out of a toxic connection. And it hurt him. He learned a lot, he did. But more than anything, it was just very painful. And he's very emotional and he's not over it. I also get the feeling in my channeling that he's not over you. I feel like he's a newborn baby. He's just like, he's been through such HE double hockey sticks in relationships. And now he's trying to press on and move on from all the pain associated with love and emotions. And I'm getting the words, I quit, I give up, I'm walking away. I'm leaving it behind me. I just want a fresh new start, brand new day. I don't want to look back. I don't want to hang on. I feel he even left some of his stuff behind. And this could be clothes, this could be items, personal items, but he's left some of these things behind. And he's just fresh, getting out, just starting over. There's a lot of emotions still tied to the whole breakup scenario, but at the end of the day, he could not overcome what he went through. It was too much. It was overwhelming. And there's no way that he could have saved it, no matter how much he tried. It wasn't possible. 5s are never easy cards. They talk about a challenge, and change, but a lot of pain, with 5s. But the 5 of Cups is about testing your faith too. And it's about showing up after you've suffered a loss of something. And, that your person has definitely suffered an undesirable disappointment in love. And your twin flame needs to know there's 2 cups still standing. It's not the end. It's not completely squashed forever as much as your twin would think it is. There's still 2 cups, which means there's still time. And your twin cannot put all his attention on the fact that it ended so painfully, but he's got to let go of attachment and the fear associated with the loss and the grief that's there. And there's still love in the future for him, He's definitely wishing he could turn back the clock with the 5 of Cups. It's, I wish I would have done things differently in the past. I've ruined it. It's wrecked. It's trashed. There's too much water under the bridge. It's just, it's over completely. But as much as this was a great loss and choices were made, as painful as it is, there's still a new opportunity with the Fool card. And once he's done allowing himself to grieve over the loss, he can finally start a new life with the Fool. And this is a brand new person full of hope, even a little childlike, which is why I said this person is naive, looking forward to a new beginning without fear, and wanting to take a leap of faith. The Fool card definitely carries a little bit of their possessions. There's always a little bag, not much. They're not taking a bunch of karma drama with them, but they carry a little something. Just to make sure they can get through whatever journey they're on without really hurting or needing it. When the Fool card appears in a reading, it is there to show that this is time to make a bold move, take a leap of faith, trust your instincts, Learn that you're probably going to fall, but that's okay. It's a chance to start over with a fresh perspective. Expect the unexpected and be ready for an adventure. So that's what he's going through. But let's go ahead and read the oracle and just see what this card has to say. With your beautiful Five of Cups. All right. This is a South American capybara. I don't know how to say that. Capybara. Carpia, whatever. Okay, it looks like a guinea pig. Let's just stay with that. It's a guinea pig. Okay, it's a South American guinea pig. It loves the water, and it knows that it can be safe, but sometimes there's treacherous danger in the water. If you jump in, you could lose it all. And life still must continue even after something tragic. In this image, he's lost his partner, his friend, or his loved one, and he's still going back in the water. It was tragic what happened, and there was pain, but he knows he can't stay there grieving over his dead partner. So he's got to move on, even against the current, as difficult as it is. Although this is a loss, it's also a chance for a new beginning. This is the energy of the Five of Cups, and you will notice some loss when this card shows up for sure. Your person's going through a loss, but it's not going to be dwelled on. Your person, your twin, is not going to allow themselves to miss the next opportunity. Your twin flame is going to be excited for what's coming next, something new. So, I think he's working through grief, and before you know it, poof, he's going to be the Fool. Okay? So something good's going to come from it. But what your person is going through in their career is there's a fail, but it's fail now and fail fast so you could succeed. In business or in work and career, your person doesn't have the luxury of being attached to every single thing. It's not always going to work out, and there's definitely some setbacks at work for your person, but he's going to have the strength to put it all together and move on and see the next blessing. So he's having a hard time at work, okay? In family and relationships, the Five of Cups usually is not a good card to get in a relationship reading, as it often points to a deep emotional loss. But that is not always the case. It can also let you know that you have allowed your emotions to dwell too long in the past, and now you can finally get over it. With your head behind you, you're missing what's in front of you. Heed this warning and adjust your point of view and awareness accordingly. I think he's getting over a heartbreak or a breakup. In health and well-being, your twin is not letting their failures of the past taint their achievements in the present. It can be hard to allow themselves to feel joy because they're still suffering and guilt, but the capybara says that although it's hard to let go, you must move on in order to see the potential that awaits you. The card of the day here, journal prompts for your person, is A, what ghosts of the past is your twin flame letting influence his present moment? And secondly, where in your life are you where in your person, your twin flame's life, is he experiencing guilt or shame? Okay, so there's guilt and shame in the past. Five of Cups, too much water under the bridge. We got to move on from the failures and the losses. And see, how easily is he able to let things go now? So that is what your twin flame is going through, learning to let things go. All right, because there is a beautiful brand new beginning. and he's got to move on from this. Look what's under it, the World card. Wow. Talk about an ending and a finale. This is the fireworks at the end of the Disney trip. Okay, whatever he was going through, your twin flame, this is the fireworks show. It came, we saw, it blew up, it's over, and we have to move on. Oh, Starseed, you're here. Wow, I knew he was going through something big, really bittersweet. Yeah, he's definitely getting over the grief and loss of a past relationship. And look at this. I mean, bottom line, he's having a new beginning. I'm so glad for him that he's able to move on and get away from this. And this is a good omen that he is getting over this. There's still 2 cups. There's still life and love and good things. So Starseed, yes, it's been so long. He needed a new start. Well, he's getting one. Now, the timing of this card, just so you know, Starseed, is April and May. Aries vibes, Aries season. So he's just freshly going through this. Okay. So that's what I got there. Oh, he's an Aries. That's beautiful. Well, it's his season. I'm so glad for him. That is really awesome. Look at him doing the thing. That's great. All right. Well, he's going to leap to a brand new start. That's what he's going through, girl. Does anybody else have their 1111 question tonight? Hey! I'm sorry, guys. My cats are being wild. Kitty? No. Butters, I know it's you. Butters? No. Butters. Butters. Prince? Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. You should hear the madness that's going on in this house. It sounds like I'm having the, UFCS, whatever, wrestlers body slamming in my kitchen. Freaking cats. Okay, well, if no one else is here with your questions, I'm going to let you guys go. If you guys want to know how many cats I have, you'll never guess. Wait, I'll give you guys a free card. And don't cheat. And I don't want my moderators to tell me, because I know you guys know. But who wants to guess how many cats I have? You say 5. You're close, but no cigar. Try again. No cheating. 3. Peaches, you guessed. 7 kitties. I have 7 cats, guys. 7. It's insane. Peaches, real quick, you're a member. Duh, so I forgot. And what is your question for your 1111? Let's do yours, Peaches. Yeah, you guys are like, oh my God, I'm the crazy cat lady. I am. And that's fine with me. I love being the crazy cat lady. That's good for me. It's fine. I love my cats. They make me happy most of the time. There's been some incidents, but I just need to get rid of my carpet and put in laminate flooring in certain rooms and I'll be set. But they're good kitties and they make me so happy. They're all lovable sweethearts. But my dog Sumo is shedding. And I don't like that. He's a American bully and he's got those short little pointy hairs. So when I pet him, just man, you don't think those dogs shed, but they do. And it's like, whoa. So I'm going to have to take him to the pet store to do a dog wash because I'm not washing him in my tub. He's going to clog it up. I got to take him over there and get him cleaned tomorrow, that little sweet pig. Hopefully he'll stop shedding once I get him all brushed out. Peaches, whatever the cards have to say. Okay, girl. Let's see. What oracle am I going to do for you? I feel called to use the animal tarot. I'm not animal, angel tarot for you. I don't know why. Have you been visited by angels lately, Peaches? Do you feel like you've been working with angels? Are you called to angels lately? Like little angel figurines, angel wings, angel videos, angel movies. Like I just feel like angels are definitely around you lately. Let's see. What's going to come up for Peaches? You've been looking at angel movies lately. Oh, okay. Well, they're feeling your vibes. They're protecting you. They're helping you. I do believe you have a guardian angel definitely around you. It's not a family member. You know, angels are separate beings. But there is a guardian angel definitely around you. Just at this time, I think you might be going through a difficult change or transition. And they're right there. This angel is, at least. And if you've been praying for some kind of comfort, guidance, or healing, you're going to be getting a lot of messages from that angel. I see a lot of number 9s, and I'm hearing 9s for you. And 9s are about endings. So you're going through a heavy ending, and that angel is here to comfort you through that. I don't know, this might be random, but I'm just going to throw, I don't know where you live, but if you have blinds somewhere where you work or live, I feel like you've been kind of watched through the blinds. So just make sure, you know, you're keeping them closed at night, because I definitely feel something weird about it. Your angel's like, hey, I'm protecting. It also could be that your person has driven by to try to see through a window with blinds. Yeah, I definitely get that vibe. I just feel like if something's been somewhat blocked, like it is through blinds, even when they're open, your angel's kind of looking at that person through the window, and it could be a spirit or an entity also looking at you through your windows. But if there is something evil trying to look at you through the windows, this angel's like, no. She's safe and protected. I just wanted to share that. Oh, these are not all in reverse. What the heck? Okay, we're just going to go with it. So down here we see release in the reverse, which is death in the reverse. So endings, transformation, and freedom. Now, this oracle book doesn't read reversals, but I'll just give it my own interpretation of that. Bottom line energy, something's not over. And there's a refusal to let it be over. At the same time, you're seeing 9s. So there's an ending coming in, but a refusal of it at the same time. Yep, there's your angel. This angel's been with you since you were young. And there's the phoenix. You're like a phoenix rising. This is the Ace of Water. Emotions, relationships, and intuition. Your intuition's coming alive. Your third eye is opening. And what I mean by that is your intuition's really on point, like probably more than it has been lately. Have you been getting off of fluoride? Staying away from fluoride and staying away from processed foods? That can really help decalcify the pineal gland. Because even as a small child, we're given fluoride water, fluoride mouthwash, fluoride toothpaste. Everything's got fluoride. And it calcifies our pineal gland. I think that's why they do it to us. They say it helps keep the water clean and helps cavities go away, but we all know it prevents us from manifesting and doing magic. So it's good to decalcify that pineal gland. But Spirit says that this angel is here helping you open up your intuition. And you're going to see, you might prevent someone's death with your intuition, or an angel might save you from a situation that may have been close to death. But I feel like something was close to death, but it didn't happen. And it was the angel that was here to protect you. Because it wasn't time. Now, as it goes along with the ending that's being resisted, I feel like that's with love. I feel the angel says somebody's refusing to let something go, but there's a new rebirth of that love, or perhaps a new love. Now, the Ace of Cups can be a rebirth of love. So it could be an old love that is getting reborn, rejuvenated, or it could be a new love. We have to keep an open mind with that. I do have to say, with the death in reverse, I do get the feeling that it's an old love that doesn't want it to end, that wants to give new life to the relationship. I know that may not be what you want to hear, but I definitely get that feeling with these two cards here together. And maybe that's the angel preventing the death. Perhaps it's a metaphor, right? The angel's like, I'm preventing the death of this situation. I'm going to give it new life and support. Let's go ahead and read it. So the Ace of Water card here says, something new is stirring in your heart. It may be a budding relationship that has your heart fluttering, or it could be a current partnership that is experiencing a reawakening. If there is no one in your life at the moment, then it can anticipate the arrival of someone very soon. Peaches, you might even fall in love. This card heralds the beginning of a very potent emotional experience. Say yes to them. This card can also indicate new and uplifting intuitive experiences. Information from your angels may be increasing in accuracy and frequency. Usually these messages are about emotional situations occurring. In an angel message, it says, to see love come into your life, whether it's romance or just a very intimate friendship. It brings us so much joy. Our hearts can soar knowing that your own will also be filled with happiness. If you are scared because of past emotional wounds, Death card energy, know that we are here to help you heal from this past painful situation. The additional meaning of this card is a first love, or a flirting, the developing of a crush on someone, or opening your heart to another love. It could even be a spiritual epiphany or healing a wounded relationship. I love it. And since you are an ultimate subscriber, let's get you a bonus. What is coming up for you? Peaches. Keep in mind, if you guys want to be ultimate members, paying $122 a month, you're going to get a lot of bonuses all the time. So it well indeed pays for itself. What is a bonus here for Peaches? What does she need to see that's coming up over the next 30 days? $30 days for Peaches. 3 of Pentacles and a Page of Wands, bottom of the deck. Travel is ahead, perhaps. Improvements are underway, but delays are around it. It's about renowned glory, a place of worship. So, you know, this is being glorified. This is a job well done. This is being recognized. I think over the next 30 days, you're going to get a raise at your job or a career boost or some kind of recognition. Or in love, it could be someone who, you know, is connected to you in a third party is going to reach out to visit you and see you and communicate. This is all about communication. So this person wants to communicate. You're doing a good job. You're beautiful. You're lovely. You're just wonderful. I'm very proud of you. And it's about progress. It's about taking something to the next level and going up the ladder and moving down further into a connection. So I see good progress. And over the next 30 days, expect things to move in a good direction. You are the magician. You're manifesting what you want to come into your life. Don't forget that you have the power to say yes or no to anything. This may be a bit of a surprise for you, but it's well-deserved. And I think you deserved and earned this recognition that you're about to get in the next 30 days. So you are being seen and recognized. Something's not over, though. Spirit says, Peaches, whatever was supposed to be ending, there's resistance. We can't let this end yet. It's not time. I know endings are approaching, but not yet. There's some kind of miracle here, some kind of rebirth or healing or something great that's going to make you feel really, really happy. So get ready because you are the queen of earth. Gracious, practical, and capable. You've got it all together, Peaches. Good job. You're doing a good job, Peaches. Spirit acknowledges your good job at life, at healing, at love, at being a good person. You're just doing it well, girl. Keep on receiving, honey. Thank you so much for being a member for me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your monthly gift. And anything I can do for you, I'm always here. Thank you, Peaches. I love you. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I think that's it for tonight. I'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow. All right? I love you. You guys have a great night or a great day, depending on where you are. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I'll let you guys know when I open up that teen channel, but it's probably going to be around the same time I get into my astrology one, which is coming up any day. So I might just do both simultaneously, 2 new channels, but we'll see how it goes. I love you guys. Good night. Rest well. Thank you for watching. And remember, like I always say, this is a journey, not a destination. So you just keep swimming. Thank you, markers, for watching me. I love you so much. Thanks, guys. Thank you all so much for being here and watching me. May you be blessed with lots of money and lots of love and lots of physical happiness. Thank you so much.